as we saw previously. Taka on the killer, Nameless King survivors, Oni CT1. I'm here currently by myself as Hunter is using the little boy's room, so it will be all me until he is here. So yeah, Taka has spawned on the bottom side of the map. He does have this lovely 4-gen on the top side of the map, 3 and 9, a little bit hard to protect. You would have loved to have seen that gen closer to 11 instead of 9, but a 4-gen top is always good for the Oni. We will see him heading to main, and I would like to point out very quickly, choosing the BAM over the Brutal, I think that is a very good play, but an early head on from our survivors to just catch Taka out there and initiate a chase. I feel like we could have just stayed in that locker and stealthed him out, but we will take the head on and we will find our Nancy running all the way down to Shack into our non-corrupt generators. I believe this is probably most likely a decision because we do want 9 to get out of the way as quickly as possible, and taking the chase as far away from it as possible will give Nameless Kings the room to get that done. Now we are getting a little mind gaming at Shack, get the pallet dropped for free as you need to do early against the Oni. So this chase will actually be ending right here. We will just be opting over to leave to this 8-gen, get our eruption set on it, which is standard Oni gameplay. You can't have these chases really last for too long. You do need to be applying that pressure, get your tag early in any way, even if it is not from a chase, just catching out a rotation. And I think that's what Taka will be aiming to do. He will definitely be looking to get that tag and get his power so he can play for those eruption procs and get those downs to have his pain res and keep this 4-gen for as long as possible, because that really will be crucial for him to get a good result. Oni obviously being a killer on the lower end nowadays. He's not really expected to get those 4Ks. You should be seeing anywhere between those sort of like 6 to 10 stage marks. A 4K is definitely doable though with some good plays from the killer. But chasing main is going to hamper that. We do see Soloist just continuing his chase around main, as you do, playing very standard. Corrupt is also now ending before we've even gotten a tag, and I would like to point out that gen progress is immense. We will be seeing some generators pop if we continue to chase this, but Taka has made excuse me. Taka has made the heads-up play to go and check his generators, finding our survivor on 9 and committing this now. He does also hear 7 in the background, and my god, that gen is whirring. And we do now know that they are triple splitting. We may be seeing 2 generators pop before Han Lee does get tagged on this chase, as he does have to play this top mid filler, greeting it beautifully, getting the stun as well, able to take distance all the way to main. Now, for Taka, this is getting problematic. Not having a tag for 2 gens is bad. It is where the game starts to get ugly for the Oni. Even if you don't have a down yet, it is okay, but you do want to at least be getting your power close enough so that way you can apply pressure to the survivors everywhere across the map. But the tag does come in after those gens have popped. Hunter is now back with me, so Hunter, obviously you've not seen the little bit of the game that's gone so far, but Taka has just gotten his first tag. 2 generators have popped, and 9 is 99 to practically power now in hand. How do you see this going from here on out?
I hate how I was gone for literally what felt like 3 minutes, and now all of a sudden I'm looking at an Oni game where we're almost half done. It looks like to me that there was a very strong chase at the beginning. Now correct me if I'm wrong, Little Chief, but we are in a power position on the side of our survivors. Even with power in hand at the moment, we are going to be taking chase over to 11, getting slapped through that. That's some dedicated stuff right there if I've ever seen it, but that's mighty unfortunate. We are going to be taking this first hook of the trial onto our pain res in the middle of the map, surely. We're opting to go for something a little bit more on the edge map here, so unless we have a 3-gen, I don't really quite understand this. We're not really able to pressure as many generators as we would have liked to. We do manage to... Okay, we can hold 9 now that we've hooked close to 9. I didn't manage to see that that had actually quite a bit of progress. If I do turn up the game volume just a little bit, I do actually see a little bit more of the value. But in all honesty, if we just opted to go for that hook outside of main, maybe we could have even pressed 2, 3, and maybe even wherever that last generator is a little bit more. In all honesty, we could still pressure 9 at that point in time, but seems to me that now we do have our Mio just trying to go back on that generator. Oh, actually, no, sorry, get the pull rather, and then try to force away from chase, and now eating a tag there, giving Oni's power straight back up. That kind of had to happen in all honesty. We do want them up, running, and out of the 3-gen scenario, 4-gen scenario, wherever that was. So it was still relatively close to our generators. We're taking chase all the way back down to 6 now, pre-chopping that instantly. We're going to mid-6 now. Very weak fillers here. I'm very interested to see how Soloist is going to play this game. The Vault back into the killer, unfortunately, not much to work with. Had to play the stun with the smash hit, but, you know, I mean, any any really good killer isn't really going to fall for too many smash hits. It's going to have to be like the 50-50 just one, in all honesty. And yeah, against a short filler like that, I just don't really see it happening. But we do have adequate gen pressure in the background. We have 2 generators ready to pop anytime now. Unfortunately, we are going back to 9, kicking this as soon as we possibly can. And now maybe the rotations around from our survivors. We do need to get healthier at some point on the side of our Neon Mio, because as soon as we start leaking blood all over the place in inconvenient spots, that's going to allow our Oni to get power and go for the snowball a little bit later on in the game, even though we have it in hand at the moment. So we're taking vantage point back once more around the midsection of the map and opting to go for these scratch marks leading into 2. Pre-leaving the generator is Han Lee, going all the way back down to 5, where there is that one-off generator just kind of solo in the distance there, but over at Shack. But I don't think anybody would ever be working that in their right mind. They really want this gen cluster to be worked on. And my God, what an amazing flick from Tucker. He's going to slug and go all the way for the survivor that is going for the pool there. I think that, did they cop on? What happened there, Lord Chief? I didn't really get to catch a glimpse of it. I did see the eruption proc on 9, but our survivors stealthing the power out entirely at the moment and opting to go for gen pressure on main as well.
Yeah, Hunter, so I think what's happened there is 2 of our survivors had played to reset back main, so they were doing that and expecting to have a bit more time before Soloist was going to die on hook, because Hanley going down definitely did not put them in a position they needed to be in. I think it really disrupted their game plan. Hanley getting found on that gen and then obviously being down has meant that Soloist has died, no one has been able to get the unhooks, there's someone on the ground and they're going to have to rotate for this pick they do. Tucker has a fair bit of blood on the map, and we'll be getting even more with Han Li now in chase. Daishao just stuck on the LTs. We'll have to play this until he does inevitably get an opportunity to break away, and if he does give a tag, getting power right now in the 3v1 with 2 generators remaining, a tight 3-gen top still to work with, would be something good for Tucker. Now, Shack Pellet is gone, so Han Li may inevitably just end up getting tagged on this now, as he doesn't have a good exhaustion to work with, but we do choose to vault into Shack, giving him that little bit extra distance to 8, and I would assume Daishao indeed is on a gen top at 50% as well. I'm not too sure what our other survivor is up to, Hanley winning a 50 in the meantime, but if they are doubling a gen, disrupting that 3-gen, it could be problematic. But the interesting decision now, Hunter, will be, will Tucker just stay in this chase to get the down, or will he get his power and opt to leave for the gens? Never mind, main has popped and another is 90%. We definitely need to leave now, Hunter.
You definitely need to leave. I would have begged to leave a little bit earlier, in all honesty, and just tried to accumulate as much blood as we possibly can. The force of the Locker 2. You cannot pick this. We are playing for the stages. We could have been playing for the 4K one. I do think we would have made the gen if we chose the right gen to be dashing towards. I don't think Tucker was ready for that last generator pop, and this is definitely out unless the survivors fumble the bag entirely, as we do hook outside the main building, taking that obsolete pain res hook now, but hook over in the main building. We are going to be seeing Daisho now just start getting caught out on the door. Going to be playing the pallet here on 2 side, getting a little bit frustrated on the side of Tucker. Not too sure what was happening there. Probably would have been in his best interest to charge up power with the right click as opposed to just holding the M1 down, rather, sorry. Nevertheless, we are going to be hugging this wall very tightly, trying to play the mind games, trying to get Daisho in a bad position, but playing the check spots very beautifully, playing very patient, not vaulting preemptively. Tucker getting cucked by what was that? There was nothing there. That's so unfortunate, but we do see the down onto Daisho, and this will be another hook into the repertoire of our killer. This will be the 7 stages on the board, and I think the survivors will just opt to leave. This is no real reason to play for this hook. It is an average result for the survivors, an average result for the killer. It's something you more so expect for an Oni on Cold Tower. 6 to 7 stages is somewhere around there. No, don't make the joke, otherwise I'm going to be very furious and mad.
Hunter, I will save you the frustration. But yeah, you are.
It's a lot of uncertainty with his recent performances. I did forget how unfortunate it was for last season for him. I mean, you did see him having to play a lot of Survivor to play his killers, as he was paired up initially with not adolescents. They were Leopard at the time, and obviously they had a lot of SEA players, and obviously when versing OCE, they had to abide by the 3-1 rule. So there were a lot of instances where he had to kind of bite the bullet, play the serve. We know he doesn't like playing the serve as much as his killer, and then on top of that, just the unfortunate scene of events where his killer didn't perform as well as he would have liked. But that being said, we are loading back into the match where we will be taking ground to the middle of the map where the survivors are spawning to the bottom side spawn. This is a healthy spawn for the survivors. My God, when you spawn on the bottom side, oh no, this is bad news, Bears. We've been caught out at a half tile there, choosing to loop Shack right off the bat. And again, as I was saying, spawning on the bottom side, a lot better for the survivors in all honesty. There's there's Shack to work with and a bunch of fillers over at 6 and potentially even 5, depending where your corrupt zone is. You want to be rotating to the correct side. But as we take chase back to deep 6 here on the side of Tucker, we're going to be preemptively dropping that pallet after getting hit. Bam coming into effect on the window, and we're just going to opt to die here over at the bottom 6. Wait, we get a light thumbtack. Nah, it's Crazy Tucker, who was our killer last match, playing out of his mind at the moment, playing the... Well, is this a God Rock anymore? It's not a God Rock because they removed the other tree, but it is still a very powerful rock. Now chaining back into the window as Bam is gone, and we are going to be re-bamming that on the side of Mo, but Tucker makes the pallet again. Now can he play the checkbox to fake it? We're swinging into thin air! Tucker, you are having a monumental chase after misfortunate events just before at the start of the game. Caster's Curse were going down at 5, but still a fairly good chase, everything considered that, we got an early hit. If only we didn't get that early hit and went for a pre-drop or in a safer position, in all honesty, it would have set up our survivors for an even better game, Chief.
Yeah, 100% Hunter. Tucker, after that first unfortunate tag, has done exactly what he needed to. He has delayed his down for as long as possible. It is unfortunate that it is not as good of a start that the other survivors on Nameless King did have, because they prevented a tag from coming in before 2 generators had even popped, which is exactly what you need to be seeing if you want to be getting low stages. So I do think Mo is definitely in a dominating position at this point. But to not take away any credit from Taka, after the tag he did absolutely what he needed to do. So now the interesting decision comes in. Mo is all the way 11, and he spotted another survivor. This is Snorlax, the sprint burst used to only make the same pallet he was on, and now he has to play around it for his life. Going down on his gen, this is problematic. This is and we're opting to slug it. If we do catch out another survivor here, one who is taking the leave far too late, we are not at a strong resource hunter, but excuse me, but we do get the stun. Citri will have to chase down to the bottom side of the map now to not die in these gens. Snorlax still on the ground. Citri as well with some beautiful mechanics from Mo, my word. Now, what do we do from here, Hunter? Taka is injured bottom side. Snorlax is still on the ground. Mo can drag Citri all the way back to his generator if he needed to, but he's going to pain res on 2. This is a very strong spot.
Exactly. This is where all the progression is as well. So we're not able to work these generators, especially with 2 injured. I think we have to flip the map once more and opt to die top side maybe. Or if we can get a quick pull and die bottom side and work the top gens, that's also viable too. And we have caught out an injured survivor here, which it seems to be there was some kind of reset. Sprint burst in hand is going to allow us to play this tile over at 10. Going for a fake on the side of Snorlax, but Mo, to experience, is not going to be falling for that. And we will be down Snorlax instantly, going for the pickup. Is there some sort of beamer save? No. So we really have to regroup, recollect. There's so much blood on the map at the moment. Even I'm a little bit, I don't even know what to do in this scenario. Again, what I want to do is I want to slow the game down, but Mo's momentum, Mo's pace, he's not even playing defensive. He's just playing pure aggression at the moment. So it's honestly quite scary. I mean, I think you have to kind of give up on these top generators at the moment. You have to go start working the bottom side. We have power in hand once more, and we see someone just stealthing around with the scratch marks running straight into the open. Do we make the pallet? But it doesn't even matter. No, it does actually. We're going to be slapping the pallet into Mo's face. That's going to allow us to make the I feel like you're just outside of Shack, but getting mind gamed and caught out on the generator there. Going down is Citri. Geo on one of the generators in the background, maybe over at 7, and if we're not careful, we need to be pre-leaving this if we are working 7, and we are, we pre-left way too late. Mo getting the hit through the pallet, and now is going to be going towards the 4K5. If he does find Tucker, where are you? What are you doing? Are you going for the pull? Are you going for the pickup? Mo anticipates the pickup, doesn't see Tucker at all. We are going to be picking up Citri taking the game back into our hands on the side of Mo again at a very dominant position. Again, the generator progress for everything that had happened in the past 1 to 2 minutes is all gone down the toilet. They did the right thing somewhat, but it was just too many consecutive downs, not enough pre-leaving in all honesty. As soon as Gio realized that Citri went down or was about to go down, and I don't know if that's a communication problem, he needed to leave that gen immediately.
Yeah, Hunter. I mean, to add to that as well, just having eruption on you when you are so deep one on that generator is so problematic. So not having that comm on the down at 11 from Snorlax to have Citri get off that gen before giving the eruption proc was so problematic, and obviously that is what led to the down. He was able to find the survivor instantaneously because of the eruption, and that just goes to show the hidden value that eruption brings. Having that aura on a killer who can be so aggressive, like Oni in power, is so strong. And we do see Taka here as well. He's just in this tile having to get this unhooked. This will most likely come at the cost of a tag. It won't just yet, as we do slam the pallet into his face, but the unhook will not be coming through because of it. So the problem still persists. We have 2 injured survivors on the board. Taka now in chase, Geo on hook. We can't really be working a gen, but Snorlax is still just sitting 1. The tag comes through as well. Mo will be getting his power very shortly, and if he goes to this gen 1, actually, I think we might be opting just to go back to the hook. We're going to catch the unhook if there was one. I don't actually think there is. Citri and Snorlax are both over on the one side of the map, which is allowing them to play a bit slow. I think they've accepted that Geo needs to go second, and we will be finding Snorlax as well. But he does have SP just to prevent that down on the gen, but it will not be proccing, and we will be getting Eruption back on it, Hunter. So I think we've recovered from a spot where this will be a 4k5. I think we've just escaped the clutches of a 4k5 for Mo. But I'm not too sure how many gens we will be popping. I don't think we have much progress outside of 1. So Hunter, what are we expecting at this point? What result do you want to see?
In all honesty, whenever the next down happens, just let them die. You need to be working gens over in the background. I think it's pretty chopped at the moment because if you look at the stages as it currently stands, we haven't popped a single generator, and we're 5 stages at the moment to our 7-stage tie condition, 8-stage win condition. So, I mean, oh my god, it's all just turned into shambles, one hook after the next, and we do see Citri sitting over at this bottom side generator over at 6. Mo's picked up on it once more as well. He's just, his game sense is on point. This is what really separates Mo from a lot of killers around the community, is that he's just able to really just predict where the survivors will be and just, I don't know, just play accordingly towards getting those downs. And, you know, his succession rate's just out of the water right now. He's absolutely incredible. But we're going to be back vaulting on the side of Citri, having a pretty decent chase, but unfortunately we'll be going down momentarily as we do struggle on that medium vault on that tile over at 5. This will be them out of the game as we do go for the pickup on the side of Mo. There is, like you said, no gen pressure at the moment. They went for a 3-man reset, or a 2-man reset, 1-man reset, and then 2-man reset. We do see Taka just sitting over that generator over at 9, Snorlax over at 12, and Geo sitting over at 10 at the moment. Now, if you're in this instance at the moment on the side of the survivors, you need to be stealthing and making sure that you're not getting fouled. Geo playing a little too aggressive on this generator. We do see the scratch marks. We are getting the head on, but we're still in power on the side of our Oni. We do have this nice little resource over at the Ormond tile, but we're running straight into the kill on the side of Geo. Again, I reiterate the point of we should be taking ground and stealthing. We should not be playing too aggressive for these generators. That head-on was an aggressive play, even though we managed to get it off. But we do see the other survivors in the trial playing correctly. We do see Taka and Snorlax just off in the distance over at those edge map tiles. Mo really trying to sniff them out, though. He does know that there's someone nearby over at this 7 tile, but Taka, a little too smart, hiding behind that tree, doing a little bit of a tree tech here. They really just have to wait for him to get out of power. As soon as he picks, they can make their next move. We do see Snorlax preemptively stealthing for the pull, going for that quick pull, so at least we can get one generator done in the background over it down at the bottom side. Mo opting to go all the way back down to this area of the map. Hang on a second, how do we know that Snorlax is just chilling there? That's crazy. We've heard that Mo's been known to hear out for a lot of the survivors, just kind of stealthing around, has ears like a demon there in all honesty, but maybe we had caught glimpse of them just moments ago, or maybe we were even just going for the eruption kick onto the generator, and hey, we managed to find out Snorlax in the process, and now we're going to be taking that M1 onto Snorlax, collecting this blood and rotating all the way back down to 11 where that unhook had happened, and again, we're in a world full of hurt where we're not probably not going to be able to get another generator done in the meantime. We do see Snorlax just rotating towards that 5-tail, playing the check spots, but we've been caught out. And Mo just missing that down there, getting a little bit of a 360 on the side of Snorlax, but the M1 tap. Now, if you didn't know on the side of the Oni, I know a lot of people actually struggle with this kind of knowledge, but you are able to just M1 someone normally in power. It's just the range of motion is a lot more, it is a lot shorter. Needless to say, if you hold it too long, you're just going to be doing a normal M1 Oni down in Demon Dash. But nevertheless, we are going to be taking chase back onto 11 here, where we do see Taka just running the edge map trash tiles here. Got some lockers to kind of juke around, but I don't think that we make any of them. We are just going to be going down, and now Geo forced into a position where he just has to go back and pick up Snorlax. And again, no gen pressure, like we was reiterating to a little bit earlier, Chief, is I think we should have let someone just die like moments ago, I say like ages ago, and just work generators that were on the opposite side of the map, in all honesty. But with most pressure, he was able to go there, force them off the generator. They got the quick pull. He got power again, down the first person, went back to the hook when they were resetting, and just, it was rinse repeat. I mean, in all honesty, Moses played an incredible game, on top of the fact that the inexperience from Caustic is just really showing at this point in time. Even though this is like one of their most played sets, this is the one they pick the most. It is the Oni, it is their forte.
Yeah, I think they just weren't ready for Mo's just unbridled aggression. He didn't let up at all, getting that tag early and just let them sit injured. He got so much blood from them not resetting quickly, not slowing the game down themselves, and they didn't, from that position, ever really be put back into a position where they were in control of the pace of the game. Mo had his foot on the gas the entire time, and there were no breaks for Caustic to press. So in the 2v1 Hunter, I think the 4k5 is all but secured. We don't have enough gen pressure for any chase to be able to, you know, just, we didn't, I don't know if we saw Taka there, but I swear he was just around that edge map wall. I'm not too sure if he was actually. It may be my eyes. Yep, no, that is, yep, he was not there. That is just me. Taka is in the locker 12. So at this point, I mean, we've played slow in this 2v1 instance, but it's come far too late. You know, I think you were very much correct, Hunter. The decision to play slow did not come in quick enough on the side of the survivors, and by the time it like really needed to, they weren't in a position to be able to. There was just so much blood on the map. They weren't able to rotate very well, and I think that is definitely what has cost them here. I think their lack of early rotation and positive rotations for them has what's cost them here. There were so many times that they were caught out in terrible positions in crucial moments, but luckily for our survivors now in the 2v1, we have stealthed out all of Mo's power, but it may not be for much. There is so much blood on the map that I wouldn't be too surprised if he can just do his little jog around now and have it right back in his hand and store it until he does spot a survivor, and at that point, the game will be over, no matter who he finds. And we do see Taka on this bottom in gen, I would assume. So, actually, we just haven't. Mo has just not caught that. That gen does have a little bit of progress, so if he is unable to find Taka, does find Snorlax on this gen 11, which is also worrying, might I add, Hunter, he could actually not get this 4k5 if he is not playing safe, I guess, which is ironic.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I think it's pretty much solidified, even though, like, even coming, we do see these scratch marks down here over at not 8. We are playing the check spot on the side of Taka. We are preemptively leaving the generator over at 10 on the side of our Nancy Snorlax. Going to be going down. No eruption proc on that generator, but he knows that they're working 10. And in all honesty, I look back on these generators now, and do you see what I'm seeing, little Chief? I see
the near 5 gen?
Yeah, the near 5. It is just a complete 5 gen. You know, in those 3 generators at the bottom side don't even matter, but that'll be the 4k5 solidified. My God, Mo playing absolutely incredible. As you did anticipate that he would play well, I did not expect the 4k5, especially with this being Caustic's pick. That is extremely dangerous considering that they still have a ghoul set to play, which isn't their pick. It'll be Mo on the ghoul as well. So, my God, we have seen Mo on the ghoul. He is an absolute demon. And then if you thought he was good on the Oni, just wait till you see.
Really fast as we do load in. Very curious to see what build Mo has brought. Actually, it's more of the same. Although we do have a brown add-on instead of Handkerchief, which we did see very popular last night amongst both teams, but the standard Eruption, Ruin, Pain Res, and Corrupt for the perks. Now, Hunter is still with me. How do you feel this one's gonna go?
He's not here. Try again after the beep. Nah, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. We are going to be taking the first tag onto Giro there. He's going to be running to the bottom side here. How I think this set will go, I think no less than the Oni set, in all honesty, especially this being their pick. But we are playing this very short filler on the side of Giro very nicely here, playing the checks box immaculately, winning the 50 as well through that ping. W blind as well. Going to be making away with a lot of distance, trying to get to another resource as quickly as possible. Do have access to an eye loop just mid-4. But it seems to me that Mo has opted to go for tags and play his chases. He is gone to 2, looking for the double on that generator there. Does hear the progress and he's got this vantage point here as well on the hill, but still not able to find someone. Actually, I'm joking. He has found Snorlax. Snorlax taking that tag, opting to play this pallet here. He's going to have to because he doesn't make anything else, even with the speed boost of that hit. But as soon as this is dropped, we're going to be latching back over the pallet. No, we are playing the mind games on the side of Mo. Interesting stuff here. Maybe we anticipated that they would play the little jiggy on the pallet, but this is just going to be a quick grab and another pain, and another pain raise. But the first pain raise off the trial here over at this middle 3 side of the map. 1, 2, 3, get off gens, ladies and gentlemen. And now we are going to be taking control over our generators once more. We do see a few survivors in the background, and we do get the Kagune tag onto Geo, who's going to have to rotate all the way back down to 7. Mighty unfortunate stuff since we had just gotten reset, so everything all in vain there. And maybe we opt to leave that chase and go straight back to the hook and catch out the stealthing pool survivor. We do see some scratch marks here, and Mo caught onto it just a little bit too late. Yes, we have gotten that pool for free, but we are going to continue to chase the tunnel out onto Snorlax. Doesn't have anything to be working with here. It's going to have to vault that window into main. No life in hand, but we have already used our sprint burst. We're going to be using the loop over at 12. We are greeting the pallet here. As soon as we drop that, Mo's just gonna latch onto us, and we've caught onto it, but we've caught onto the edge of the car. We're going to be going down. No DS in hand. No deliverance in this game, as this is a tier 2 set, and we're going to be taking another hook onto our tunnel out. So it's even closer to them out of the game. We are 3 splitting the gen pressure though, or maybe even doubling. I'm not too sure. No, we're 3 splitting the generator pressure. Okay, I do like this idea. Maybe we just let Snorlax cook on the hook this time, in all honesty, and try not to go for those aggressive pulls. But Mo is going to catch on to that. He's going to play according to that playstyle, and he's going to pressure these survivors off the generator. And that's exactly what the Ghoul can do the best per the movement, is he can just get that hook in the middle of the map and then just pressure his generators all around him. Even though Retro Shop is a huge map, it just doesn't matter when a killer has this much traversability. Somewhat similar to the Nurse, but we are going to be taking another Kagune tag onto Taka here, who's been interrupted off his gen, which means that Geo is the only survivor at the moment getting gen pressure, while the other 2 are just kind of, you know, rendered obsolete at the moment. They can't really do too much. They don't want to go down in front of the hook. They don't want to pull and go down at the hook as well. That would be even worse. But we are going to be greeting the pallet on the side of Geo, but he does go down, unfortunately, as we haven't created enough distance between him and the killer, and he will be going down to the pallet. No pickup from Mo. We are opting to just secure this stage, to secure the death onto Snorlax. We've caught out Citri, just working this generator over at 3. No, Geo, what do you do? Not again. I'm having flashbacks. Chief, take it away. I think this is the end. I think it's the end.
How have we let this happen? We've just... Caustic have just put themselves in a position again where their rotations have really cost them. They've been found in unplayable positions, and Mo's gonna get this down after that kidnap tech. Geo will be on the ground, and that's another 4K5 from Mo 2 on the day.
Oh my god.
I'm heartbroken.
Okay. Yeah, I am too. All they have to do next match around for this set is pop a generator, and they've taken home the entire series. I am heartbroken for Caustic. I really wanted to see them do good this time around, because I know they've been fiending for their first ever win, their first ever series takeaway through the entirety of OSL history. But unfortunately, I don't think that day is going to be today unless we see a monumental 4K5 from the killer on the side of Caustic, which probably will be Tucker. And then hypothetically, if that were to happen, a 4K5, that will only be a tie where you'd be going into the tiebreaker, which, if I do look at my notes real quickly, it is unknown on the Wreckers Yard. Again, not an easy killer when you do have Mo playing that killer, in all honesty. But wow, I mean, you would have to take away that set, and then it'd be the draw. There's no way for them to win at the moment. It's a draw regardless.
Hunter, I cannot. Have we ever seen two 4K5s in a single match before? I think this might be an
No,
OSL first.
it's
Yeah,
OSS
okay.
history, yeah.
It is OSL.
About realistically more recent events loading upon this game. Okay, so on the Survivor side, do have Hanley, Mio, Daisho, and I hope I'm saying these names right, and Soloist. I will say them to the best of my ability. But that is the exact same Survivor team that you had seen on the Oni set. Were able to take away some stages, getting a 7-stage 3 fresh result. They are probably more than likely going to get even better result in this game, even though the Ghoulies are much more of a higher tier killer and well, I guess so you could say a better killer than the Oni. People do indulge in the Ghoul because he is the stronger killer, but I think, in all honesty, that they're going to be pulling low stages. Low stages. That is my prediction, though. I could be proven wrong, and I hope I am, for the sake of Taka. He has had internet troubles today, unfortunately, and he is ping checking at the moment to see that it has regulated. I mean, we did load into the wrong servers a few times around at the beginning, and then we speculated that it was just poor internet, unfortunately. There were some IRL circumstances that did force Taka to be out of his elements at the moment, so we really do applaud the fact that he is participating today. He does seem to be struggling on the mechanics a little bit, so I do think
the
there's some
internet
lag
issues have
coming into play.
returned, yeah.
They have, yeah. I mean, again, he is pausing, checking ping, and getting the confirmation from the teams that. Oh, sorry, the staff team. Is he? Oh, I was gonna check the chats there, but nothing at the moment. He is just continuing on with his match. He does find the first set of scratch marks here. It is our Claudette Han Lee. I love that name, Han Lee, by the way. My God. Just going to be greeting that pallet on the side of our Survivor, unfortunately getting tagged by the Kagune tag, and that was just bound to happen, but we are going to be playing the mind games over at this 2-tile here. Exact same 2-tile for that last game, but oh my God, no, he's done the tech. He's done the thing. He's done the thing.
He's done
that's
the
just,
thing.
yeah, I don't think we saw that once in Mo's game. I don't think really Caustic really knew that that was an actual tech. Yeah, when the Ghoul vaults over the pallet, you can do a little bit of a 360, kind of similar to a window tech and lose collision just for a split second, or just like roam behind the killer. Granted that you don't mess it up and you get the window vault. Unfortunately, it didn't happen there. That is the one instance where it just doesn't work. I think once the killer catches onto it and they just stand still at the pallet, even though they sacrifice distance in the 50-50, so it's a 50-50 after they vaulted the pallet, whether they choose to make distance or they choose to do the little 360 Rooney. And if you sit there at the pallet and they do the 360, you are met with obviously failing the tech, which is what you just saw. However, if the survivor was playing distance, I don't think that Taka would have been able to catch up in the long run. But I say that, and now we have our first hook, our first pain res of the game. For those who we hadn't read the build, actually, well, let's just quickly touch up on that. It is Corrupt Intervention, Pain Res, Eruption, and Ruin. But we do have Handkerchief this time, and Coffee. So quite stock standard stuff that you would have seen throughout the entirety of last season and even this season. So I mean, Ruin out of the trial, though, at the moment. We are going to be continuing on the chase over at this 7-tile, playing the mind games. Giving up pallet possession a little bit too easily is going to result in a down for Mio. Mighty unfortunate stuff, but we have popped our win con, which means that regardless of the result, Nameless King will be taking home the series 2-0. But that's not over for Taka. He does still want to perform at the best of his ability. He does get another hook here. Another, oh, it was on a pain resonance stack that time, and I'm not too sure if it was before either. Did we use the pain res then or beforehand, Chief?
That was the pain res just there, Hunter, as we unfortunately didn't get one on our first hook. It wouldn't have mattered because the generator did pop as we got the down, so it would have been all for naught. We did also see, I don't know if you noticed it, but there was a beamer save attempt on that first down, so there was actually no other gen progress. So even if we did get a pain res, it would have hit nothing. But we are opting to hit through BT onto Mio, and this chase will continue down to 8, most likely down to the bottom side of the map, as we do see Daishao on another generator on the top side, and I would assume our other 2 survivors rotating to be doing something similar. Now, the problem with the Kagune vault on this pallet is that although you can not make it around if taking your distance, if you do vault into him, you are able to make the distance once again. But we do just opt to break the pallet, not playing around it, because it is quite difficult for our killer to do so, and we do have a very strong setup to continue our chase bottom. We have this jungle gym into Shack with the pallet still up, and a Sin car here, no less. So, I mean, at this point, Hunter, we just need to make a crucial decision here. Do we commit this chase onto these strong resources, or do we opt to leave for our gens? It does look like we will be committing, Hunter. Do you think this is the play?
Yeah, more than like, I think so, in all honesty. I mean, granted that you can have an amazing chase here, which we do look like we're doing at the moment, utilizing that window, getting the fast vault, playing the check spots very nicely on the side of our near Mio, but popping the locker, going to be going down. The eruption proc in the background is going to set the gens back just a little bit longer, but it was commed. Okay, so that is a plus side, and when you're chasing, if you're going to call eruption, you pop locker, you can at least call it a lot earlier and make sure that your teammates get off the generator. So no aura proc there, unfortunately for Taka, but he's in a power position at the moment. 3 stages of 3 generators remaining. You know, it's granted he can find this generator that Soloist is working, but I don't think he will in time, as he is just kind of looking around this generator here over at 6. He is going towards the complete other side of the map, even though that we're working 2 there on the side of Soloist. I'm not too sure if he spotted someone out, and yeah, it does seem to be that way. That is Daisho running all the way down to 10, but going to be getting marked with that Kagune tag, and now we're going to continue on the chase once more over at this mid-8 tile, but another generator popping in the background is made this game a little bit harder for us, and no down as a result of those chases. Again, on the back foot and on the defense on the side of Taka. He really doesn't want that crossing survivor to getting that pull, and he is too late. We have rotated at the correct time. We are going to be taking the endurance hit status effect onto our near survivor there, Mio, who is just pre-dropping Shack Pallet, trying to create as much distance as humanly possible. But we are straight back on his tail, as the Ghoul is a very fast killer. I don't think he even makes his pallet. No, he does. He is pre-dropping it as well, so it creates even more distance, and I do think he makes it again, but we have opted to break it on the side of Taka, continuing on the chase all the way down into 5, and now we do have not another resource, but we do get a hit here, which is just as good as another resource. We've opted not to use the matchstick tiles, as it is pretty weak versus a Ghoul, but we do have this filler pallet leading over into 2. Going to be pre-dropping that instantly. We do get the grab over the pallet on the side of Taka, but it's not going to be enough to catch up to him. We are going to be vaulting straight back into Taka again, but it doesn't matter because we do have life at our disposal. The final generator has popped, and we are getting out here, Chief, at potentially what looks to be a 4-stage game if we are able to down Mio. A little bit of nodders on the side of Taka, acknowledging the fact that he has lost, but played to the best of his abilities, and we do manage to get the grab. We are trying to go for the Cracker save, but it doesn't quite work. The iframe's a little too strong. I think that if we played it a little bit earlier and we went for a force grab as to opposed of just going into the locker and getting grabbed, then maybe just maybe we would have got that and it would have paid off in the long run. But I'm not too sure whether that survivor with the Cracker had gone. We anticipate that the other 2 survivors working these gates here will just be leaving, as you know, it's 3 of them actually.